So I was sitting in my room the other day wondering what I should make a video on when it hit me. I should make a video on the worst console I own, my Switch. So that's what I did. This is why the Nintendo Switch is the worst console of all time. Before I go into ignorant reasoning and blatant brags, I have to introduce the console. This is the Switch. It is a handheld which can also broadcast to the TV. It is $300 and loves to break.
Oh no.
People love this console for some reason, but for me, I just can't see why. Don't get me wrong, I own a lot of games for this console, but I still don't end up playing it. I know this video is going to be controversial and is going to generate a lot of negative feedback, but that's okay, because this is my opinion. Motherfucker. So if you don't already know, the Switch can run 1080p and 720p. It works for the exclusives considering they aren't made by Naughty Dog, but porting over games like Doom just doesn't work.
Just take it!
You're reducing the graphics from a PS4 to an Xbox 360. And don't even get me started about frame drops. 30 FPS. The new generation consoles are pushing 120 FPS, but my Nintendo Switch can't go past 1/4 that without having an aneurysm. The main reason I see the Switch being thrown around as the best console of all time is because of its portability. It just doesn't work. Unless you're like me and for some reason your Switch can fit in your jeans pocket, you're gonna have to buy a case. Or two. To carry it around with you to the airport.
This is not a bomb.
I guess this works when you're on a road trip too.
Oh, I love this game.
This console's a little big though compared to previous handhelds.
What the hell is that?
The resolution goes from 1080p to 720p, and you have to play on these MFers, which don't even get me started on. The Nintendo Switch has these two detachable controllers which are called Joy-Cons. I own a lot of these. Since they were designed to break, inflate, and stimulate the economy, they cost you a pug and a TV just for one. They also drift, which is nice. Here's how to stop drifting. The Nintendo Switch is home to some of the greatest games of all time, no doubt. I've put hundreds of hours into games on the Switch, but only the exclusives, like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. I refuse to play a game on the Switch at a lesson in quality just for it to be on the Switch. I personally hold Breath of the Wild in my number 2 slot of favorite games of all time, but is spending $360 just for one game worth it?
Yes.
Then once you're done with the main games, you turn to something else for comfort, which leads to this. Wow, this game is fun! They also have this new cloud system which lets you play bigger games like Hitman on the Switch. Wow, this game is fun! But I know the old saying, gameplay over graphics. But there's a reason you don't convert games from bigger consoles onto the Switch.
Why?
The price of the Switch is $300. The price of the Joy-Cons are $80, and the price of the Pro controllers are $50. The price of the games are $1,000 though.
Just take it all!
Because Nintendo refuses to lower their prices, even after 4 years. This console is not that cheap. I can buy a Series S for the same price, and it has better graphics and power to it. It's cheaper than a PS5 or Series X, but you'll have to decide which is worth it.
I'm sorry, little one.
If you want the base console, it's cheap, but the games never go down in price, and neither do the controllers.
You greedy bitch.
All of this finally boils down to why I dislike the Switch. To me at least, it just can't compare to other consoles. It is not powerful enough, and it's too breakable.
It's happening again.
It has the games, but not the power to play them. I'd rather go play my PlayStation since it has the game's power and design to it. I personally don't use handheld that much for games either, which sort of takes away from the experience in my opinion.
Go back to where you belong. That's better.
Also, the same reason I dislike Destiny. You need friends? I have 3,000 hours on Fortnite. You need a family? I have a pug. It doesn't work that well by itself since most of the games are better with others.
Come play with me.
So that's why I don't like my Switch that much. It never works for me personally, but if you disagree, remember, that's okay. We can have separate opinions and you don't need to have a seizure in the comment section. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I love you all. Goodbye.